There's a photo somewhere on your phone, or maybe in your head, of a summer that felt alive. Maybe you were younger, maybe you were with people you don't see anymore. Maybe you were somewhere simple, doing something completely ordinary, but something about that day just landed. You remember the light, you remember how you felt in your body, you remember thinking, even in the moment, this is good, this is really good. And now it's just gone. Not in a sad way, just gone. Stored somewhere in the back of your mind like a song you don't play anymore but still know every word to. Here's what I want you to know. When did you last have a summer like that? Because for a lot of people, and I mean a lot, the answer is I don't know. Not because life got terrible, but because somewhere along the way, the summers just stopped being seasons and started being gaps. Gaps between work, gaps between obligations, things you survive rather than things you live. And this video is about refusing that. Not with a checklist, not with a morning routine or a 75-day challenge. Just with an honest conversation about what it actually means to show up for your own life, before another summer disappears into the blur. There's an important thing you should hear. The human brain is really bad at remembering ordinary time. Not because you have a bad memory, but because memory doesn't work like a camera. It doesn't record everything equally. It records peaks, moments of intensity, emotions, and endings. Everything that stands between those tends to compress and they get forgotten. Which means if you spend the summer in the same routine, same places, same loop of work and screens, your brain will compress 3 months into what feels about 2 weeks of memory. That's the blur, and most people live in it. The terrifying part is you don't feel it while it's happening. I mean, you're not bored miserable. You're just fine, comfortable, moving through days that feel acceptable. And then September comes and you look back and you genuinely cannot account for where June and July went. I know someone, early 30s, good job, generally decent life, who told me last year that he couldn't remember a single specific thing from the previous summer. Not one. He reminded the general shape of it. Hot, watched some shows, went to a barbecue or two, but nothing specific, nothing that stood out, nothing that left a mark. And what scared him wasn't that summer was bad. What actually scared him was that it was invisible, like it didn't happen at all. That's the cost of the blur. Not boredom, just absence. Here's a pattern I've noticed in people who constantly have summers they don't remember. They're waiting, not consciously. Nobody wakes up and thinks, I'm going to wait for my life to begin. But in practice, that's what's happening. They're waiting to feel ready before they try the thing. They're waiting for someone else to make the plan before they show up. And summer just passes. You probably know those people who sound like this. I'll enjoy it when I lose weight, when I have more money, when I'm older. And the thing is, some of those things might actually happen. But here's what nobody tells you. The version of you that's waiting for conditions to be perfect is the same version that will find new conditions to wait for once the old ones are met. That's not pessimism. That's just how conditional happiness works. The finish line moves. The people who have summers that they remember, they don't wait for permission. They manufacture the moment. They send the message. Show up even when it's slightly inconvenient. They have a bias toward yes in the summer months, because they've learned that the cost of saying no is almost always higher than it looks. You say no to trips because you're tired, and you're not tired for long, but you'll miss that trip forever. You don't call a friend because it feels like too much effort, and then 6 months later you realize you've drifted and don't know how to close that gap anymore. The doors don't stay open, that's the part we forget. I want to shift gears for a second and talk about something people don't connect to summer enough. Your physical state. Not aesthetics, not fitness goals, just how your body feels. Because how your body feels is how your life actually feels. Summer is the season this is most obvious. When you feel good physically, when you're sleeping enough, eating real food, moving through your body in the heat, sweating a little, everything else gets better too. Your mood, your confidence, the way you walk into a room, the quality of your conversations, it all shifts. And summer makes this easier than any other reason. The environment is cooperating. The sun is out until 9 PM. There's food that actually tastes like something. People are outside. The energy is different. But here's what most people do instead. They declare summer a consequence-free zone. Every meal is justified because it's summer. Every night out is justified because it's summer. And slowly, week by week, they end up feeling worse than they started. Heavier, slower, more disconnected from their body. And that low-level physical fog colors everything. It makes the days less vivid, it makes you more passive, it makes the summer feel like something that happened to you rather than something you moved through with intention. The fix isn't extreme, it's almost embarrassingly simple. Sleep, walk outside, eat food that isn't processed, drink water, do something physical a few times a week that you actually enjoy. That's it, that's the whole thing. And the summer where you do that consistently will feel like a different life than the one where you don't. Now here's the part nobody wants to hear. Some of the people in your life are draining you, and summer makes that more visible. In the colder months, you can hide, you can cancel plans and stay in. But summer pulls people out and forces social reality. And if your social reality is built around people who leave you feeling worse after you've seen them, that's going to be a long, heavy summer. I'm not saying cut everyone off. That's not what this is about. But I'm saying be honest about who you actually feel good around, who leaves you energized, who makes you laugh until your stomach hurts, who you can sit with in comfortable silence and it doesn't feel awkward, who challenges you in ways that make you better. Those people are rare, and most of us don't prioritize them enough. We spend time with whoever is convenient, whoever is nearby, and whoever says yes, and we call that a social life. A real social life, the kind that adds to you rather than subtracts, is built on deliberate proximity. You have to close the distance, you have to make the plan, you have to show up even when it would be easier to stay home. But there is also the other side of this, the loneliness side. Summer loneliness is a specific kind of pain. It's got this quality of contrast. You can see everyone else is seemingly connected, alive, out in the world, and you're on the outside of that looking in. And it compounds. It makes you retreat more, which makes you lonelier, which makes you retreat even more. If that's where you are, the move is not to wait until you feel better to reach out. The move is to reach out precisely because you don't feel better. Awkward outreach beats elegant isolation every time. Let me tell you what people actually remember about the summers that mattered. Not the expensive trips, not the Instagram moments, neither the things they planned for months. They remember conversations that went longer than they were supposed to. They remember the drive with no destination that someone ended up being the best night. They remember the decision they made on a random Tuesday that changed something. They remember the feeling of being exactly where they were supposed to be, with no desire to be anywhere else. Those moments don't happen on a schedule, but they happen far more often to people who are available for them. People who said yes, people who stayed an extra hour, people who showed up without knowing exactly why. The frame I want you to live with isn't a to-do list, it's a question. Not what should I do this summer, but what would I regret not doing? Because you already know the answer, you've probably known it for a while. There's a version of this summer, one that's available to you right now, that you would look back on with something close to pride. And there's another version that disappears into the blur. The difference between those two versions is almost never dramatic. It's a series of small decisions, daily decisions, the kind of decision you're making right now about the next few months are going to look like. I don't want to end this with some kind of battle cry. That's not what this is. This is just a quiet remember that the summer happening right now, this one, is not a rehearsal. It's not a preview, it's a real time. It's your actual life. And years from now, when you're somewhere different, looking back, you're not going to remember the days you stayed comfortable. You're going to remember the days you chose something. Make some days worth remembering. That's the whole thing.